Another customization feature is customizing the toolbars. The toolbars are located at the top of your screen, and they give you one-click access to various functionalities specific to a category. You'll have one for tasks, you'll have one for formatting, you'll have one for commonly used options. You can modify this by right-clicking and selecting Customize at the very bottom of the screen. Here, you'll see a list of toolbars that are available for you to work with. For those of you that are working with websites, you may wish to see the Source Editing toolbar activated at all times. By selecting this, you can automatically preview the changes that are occurring on your environment screen in real time. You can also choose Test Tools, for example. This is new to Visual Studio 2008, and it allows you to build unit tests and component tests for your application. Using this feature is a best practice. A lot of times, developers will add on test cases at the very end of development, rather than testing throughout the development lifecycle. Let's select the test tools, and let's get rid of HTML source editing for now. Another option at the bottom of the screen is to show shortcut keys and screen tips. Again, for those of you who find it more productive using the keyboard, this is a useful option to see the shortcut keys right away, so you'll begin to learn and understand the commands to help you access the features much more quickly. Select Close to close the customized dialog. Notice we have this new Test tool strip. These tool strip buttons allow you to edit and manage your tests for your application. You can actually run tests, view the results, and manage any tests or create new tests. If you select the New Test button, you can see this new feature in action. Visual Studio 2008 now allows you to add unit tests to your source code application. This way, you can test a particular method over and over again, not just only with fake data, but actually with real data, either coming from an Active Directory database, should you be choosing to test the login feature, or a system database, should you be choosing business functionality, such as adding a new customer. This will actually work with various .NET languages such as C++, C#, Visual Basic, as well as web and Windows-based applications. The tests are saved in a C# file because we're using a C# test project, but if you'd like, you can choose another language such as Visual Basic or C++. Let's cancel out this window. Another helpful environment feature is the ability to dock and undock windows. For example, the Solution Explorer. I can grab the Solution Explorer title and start moving it around my screen. Visual Studio 2005 introduced the concept of layout guidelines. This shows me where my window will eventually be docked. That way I can get a preview of where my window will end up, whether I want it in the center in my main design area or whether I want it off to the side. I can also dock it on the lower or top part of my right-hand docked windows. Let's return the Solution Explorer back where it came from. For those of you who have been working with Visual Studio 2002 or 2003, you'll remember that it's quite difficult to position your windows appropriately, and a lot of times you had to resort to resetting the entire layout back to its default settings. This works for all the dockable windows, as well as the Toolbox, Server Explorer, etc. The same functionality. By dragging and dropping your component, you can see where the component will end up. Let's say you want to maximize the real estate for your code without having to undock windows or unpin or repin windows to maximize the real estate. Another useful feature is selecting Shift-Alt-Enter to maximize your editor to full screen. You can also do this by toggling the View Full Screen option. This way, you can navigate in and out of full screen view without having to worry about resetting your docked windows, navigating through your toolbars, or modifying your environment settings in general.